Gospel legend Marvin Sapp is in a video that is going viral. Now, this is not a music video. This is a video from when he was speaking at a church conference back in July. So now this is circulating right now, and it's getting a lot, and he's getting a lot of backlash. The video is the clip that is going out is him urging the ushers to close the doors and prevent people from leaving until he could raise money. Take a look.
I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna leave together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. I'm challenging each of you all down here to give a $20 seed.
So, excuse me, this clip, and not even that full clip, part of this clip has gone all over social media, and Pastor Sapp is getting a lot of flack. So he went on the Ricky Smiling morning show, and he responded to his critics. Let's listen.
People took issue with me saying, shut the doors. Understand, I never said lock the doors. Yeah. I said, shut the doors. Shutting doors mean that people still have the ability to go in and out. People have called my church and cussed me out. My staff are afraid because I've received death threats over $20 and shut the door.
Now, I have to say, I feel very badly for Pastor Marvin Sapp because nobody should be getting death threats over this. And I want to say something because, I've gone to a lot of the church conferences and things like that. To be fair, when you're doing a convention at an arena like this, beyond the doors is always a lot of stuff going on all the time. It's very noisy because they got kiosks there, people are selling things, so it's just a lot going on, especially on the outside of, like I said, the venue with where you're at, because, and so it gets distracting. So I think that what he was saying was he wanted everybody to be attentive in this moment. So it's just one snippet. This is the problem with social media. You see one snippet of a clip and then everybody loses their mind. So the context isn't there. But the one thing I know, if you a churchgoer and you be going for real, when they say shut the door, I know he says that means you can leave whenever you want, but anybody who goes to church knows when the pastor say close those doors, you really can't just get up and be leaving. Because here's the thing, Pastor Sapp said it 4 times. He said, close the doors, close the doors. I said, close the doors. When you gotta say it that many times, I mean, ain't nobody leaving this room. So what Sherri heard was, close the doors, lock them doors, don't let them out. Close the doors. Y'all get down and lay down. The ushers and the deacons became like bodyguards. They was like, we not playing, go sit back down, the doors is closed. So I have been on the receiving end of that because I know one time I was at a church and I had to leave early because Jeffrey said the service was too long. So and then when you gotta leave, you gotta put your finger up like this. You gotta put your finger up and you kinda gotta walk out like that. And I put my finger up and the ushers was like, go back to your seat. The doors is closed. So all I could do was hang my head in shame and go and sit back down. But it's funny, but you can leave. When they say close the doors, you can leave because lock the doors is different. Because when you go in, if you're a churchgoer, when you go in for shut-in, like on New Year's Eve, we lock them doors. So, because we're there for a reason. So it does mean you can leave if you want to. But close the doors, I think, was because it's all the distractions outside. But I checked that tape, and Pastor Sapp made this comment 3 hours and 33 minutes into the broadcast. Pastor Sapp, at 3 hours, people got to go get something to eat. We hungry. And they got to get something to eat because that's why you said y'all ain't doing nothing but going to a restaurant. That's why you said it, because Pastor Sapp, I heard your stomach growling when we were looking. So, here's the thing. When you sitting in a church service for a long time, we got the whole afternoon planned for when the service is over. As soon as we get up there and leave, we got to go to the pancake house before it gets too crowded. We got to get out that parking lot before it gets jammed up with people. We got oxtails and cabbage cooking in the crock pot when we get home. Those of you who are married and got a partner, your husbands want to get home and get to that game. I'm telling you, when that church service too long, I want to go home. I got to unhook my bra. So now I got to worry about, now you done got to, like, I think you should ask for that before 3 hours has passed, because now I'm thinking about other stuff. But, you know, and I know that everybody says, oh, he was asking for $40,000. To be fair, he did not ask everybody for $40,000. He challenged everybody to put in $20 each. Now, $20, that's not asking for too much, $20. But that's also why I don't sit in the front row at church, because when they be asking for $20, they look right at me and they go, Sherri, we not talking to you. So it's like, you know, I like to sit in the back. I like to sit in the back because I love that he had only asked for it. He said, I challenge you to put in a seed of $20 because this is what we're trying to do, the big picture of what we're trying to do. Because I know a lot of these churches, they always asking for money. This is what churches do. They be trying to raise money for that building fund. The building fund, the building never get built. What happened to the building for money? It'll be churches, they ask money, it's always for the youth program. Meanwhile, all the youth is 45 years old. And I don't know what this new trend is where the pastors every pastor need a plane. It's like you got to contribute to the plane fund. Like, y'all not doing nothing but speaking over a guest speaker thing in Hackensack. That's a 35-minute ride when you need a plane. But I'm going, a plane. So I do like the small churches because a small church, you give them $40 and they name a choir after you. That's what I like about the small one. But Pastor Marvin Sapp, I know you personally. I know your heart. I know your intentions and your character. So I definitely support you and wanted to give a little bit of a broader meaning to a small snippet of a clip. This is why pastors now, John, when they're preaching, you have to be aware of what you're saying and how you say it because everybody is always recording you.
One of the things that happened in the pandemic is all these churches started streaming, and I don't think it's a good idea because anything taken out of context can be used for fodder and jokes like we did today.
Yeah, you know? So Pastor Sapp, since you was only asking for everybody, you was challenging everybody to plant a seed of $20, I'm Venmoing you $20 as soon as I finish this show. You gonna get $20 for me.